I think
Hey y'all! Sorry I'm a tad late today. As I said on Patreon, had a lot of issues getting YouTube to accept my stream. But here I am, so yeah. If you're around still and you would like to get a sketch request from me, just pipe up in the YouTube chat. That's probably the best way to get my attention, since I'll have that kind of sitting over here on this monitor as I work. But if not, if that's not something that you can do or you're not comfortable, feel free to just comment on the Patreon post and I will, yeah, be refreshing that page every so often to make sure that I can not miss anyone. So, yeah. So when requests aren't going on, I can do critiques if you're an artist and you would like to get a critique from me. That's totally something I can do. But if those two things aren't going on, I'm probably going to keep working on this comic page because I am trying to get ready for a show only in about a month. So just having that disclaimer out. Normally I would be not doing that, but yeah, because I missed my time by quite a bit. I'm afraid that maybe some people gave up and thought I wasn't going to do it or something, so I might just be working on this if until or if and when people want sketches. So cool. Yeah, I think everything's set up, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep working on this page. I think, hang on, yes. Alright, we're good to go. just want to get this illustration now working on thing off before I start. Oh, I think I can't do that. Let's just take it off. Boop. Alright, cool. I don't need the temperature either. Well, I guess I could leave that on. No, it's not Twitch. I probably don't need to. Okay. Cool, cool. There's a better way to do this, I just forget how. There we go. Just gonna extend the screen down a little bit. I usually have it set up for Twitch, so this will be helpful. Oh, let me change these comments. Those are left over from the last stream I just finished. There we go. All right. Oh, that's why it won't work. I see. Well, I tried to change it, but I can't. I'll just even it out a little, I guess. Apparently I can't do that either.
Trying to forget you, I'm all alone in a ghost town. It's a beautiful madness inside my soul, and I can't stop thinking of you. Walking on the lonely avenue. Are you? Are you? Are you? My love so wild, please give me a sign. My love so wild, please give me, baby. My love so wild, please give me a sign. My love so wild, please give me a sign. Please give me a sign. Fading in the dark, all the lights go down. I'm feeling high and drunk. Close my eyes and I can't stop thinking of you. Walking on the lonely avenue. Are you? Are you? Are you? My love
So Patreon changed their the way they do things, and now I don't know how to get to anything. sorry. Sorry. Is this John? Double streaming? Yes. I don't know if you're still there. For some reason it's not showing up on my restream chat, which is good to know. Let me pop that right on out. There we go. It is John? Okay, hey! Yeah, you can hear me, right? Okay, I'm just gonna close restream then, because I don't know why it's not. I'm gonna take the chat away. So it's supposed to be showing up on screen, but it's not. So, I'm just gonna forget about that. Okay, cool, yeah, hi! You got the link through Patreon, right? I wondered if that was you, but I wasn't sure. Let's see. Yeah, it's unlisted, so I think that's the only way you could have gotten it. Cool, cool. Well, hi. Good to see you again. So yeah, I'm just doing, this is your first one, I think, then. So I'm doing my, patron request stream, so if you would like me to draw anything for you, just let me know. If not, that's cool too, we can just hang out. But I will be available for the next hour. So if you want something, just shout. I'll be around. I hope that your week went well. Gotta remember to keep refreshing this page. Just to make sure. Sometimes I have some patrons who only comment on the Patreon posts to get their request in, and I just felt bad because I missed them in the past. About when I stream. Alright, back to this. I'm gonna keep this chat up here. There we go, so I can see you. I can also see that. And see chat. Okay. I would like to request a panel from your comics. Oh gosh, aren't you just psychic? Like, seriously, don't feel bad about if you want something, like, I'm happy to drop for you. It's just like one of the ways I want to be able to give back to you for being a patron, because that's super awesome. That is funny. Well, if you change your mind, or if something comes to you, just, you know, holler. I wish I had better answers for you about how copyright works. Have you been sitting here the whole time and I just was talking to myself? That's cool. And you can see the true psychosis of me. You'll be happy to know I've been buying cheese lately, thanks to your lovely support. Because I think it was you who used to joke about cheese with me. Move this over so you can see it. Sorry. I'm trying to minimize this page and it's not doing it. So do you guys do a spring break down there for college, or is it kind of like a all-year thing? I hope you do get spring break. If not. because I think that's coming up like next week, or like the week after, at least around here. Give you a nice reprieve to work on your own things, or just relax, because, you know, students are draining. For anyone lurking, John is also from the teaching background at the moment. I should say teaching with dreams of grandeur, as I also am. We have Holly Week, which is a week without classes. I see that comes in April. Oh, you mean Holy Week? Holly Week? I don't know what that is. That's cool. So it's only like a month away. Well, if you get out in April and you feel like traveling to the States, I'll be at a convention in April. April, yeah, I think I need to get on my calendar. I think it's the 15th. Oh, 13th and 14th, yeah. But I have to make up because I can't find a picture. That's okay. I enjoy making a banana.
For yourself, and know that there was a time when we never let go, never let go. Ooh, we never
What's happening right now? I can erase, but I can't draw. Oh, tablet glitch. Alright. That's really annoying. I don't like these whiskers interfering with that. Polling. Oh, okay. Did you do the crazy parties on spring break? You're probably gonna be bored with the answer. No. The crazy. I mean, I used to go to some big parties, but my friends were all very, like very tame. So we didn't really, which I was totally fine with and appreciated about all of them. I don't feel like I missed out at all. Yeah, no, not really like big, like what you're thinking, like crazy spring break parties. I would go like do stuff like we'd go out on the lake, or my friend lived in a nice party house, like a big house, and she would always have parties there, and so everybody in our group would get together. And then for college, I think I went home most of the time for spring break in college. I don't think I really did much of that in college that I can remember. I went to a friend's, he was in a band, so those parties were always a little crazy, and he had a lot of people over all the time. But I mean, yeah, sorry, I don't have any like crazy like regret stories, thankfully. My friends are pretty chill. We were more of like cook out and hang out kind of party people. Or like potluck and hang out. We did Halloween parties that were fun. Again at my friend's house, who had the big house. good for that. What about you? Did you do some of that stuff? Were you a spring breaker? I'm having trouble with this. Oh, I don't like this song at all. Movies have been lying to you. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, not everybody does those things. Where's all my cool music? Or are you not living like in the movies, Casey? I mean, I don't think very many people make all those kinds of mistakes constantly like in the movies. I think that was, I mean, definitely people still do, obviously. I think it very much depends on the type of people you choose to hang out with. And I didn't like those kind of people. They were usually jerks in my experience, and I just wanted nothing to do with any of them, so I think you can avoid a lot of that, the stuff that comes with those kinds of situations by just choosing wisely, I guess, who you're hanging out with, investing time in. But I guess no, I'm not living like in the movies, sorry. I don't think most people do. I also think that was more of a, like, 70s and 80s thing. Definitely an 80s thing. To have like all the crazy, like nobody, because they didn't know any better about a lot of stuff that we know now. About like drugs and whatnot. So a lot of that's, yeah. Anyway, sorry. No, but I did have plenty of friends who did stuff like that, and I got to watch all the mistakes they made, so it just kind of reinforced the decision not to do those things. But yes, surprise, surprise, movies are lying. Weather is nice most of the year, so you don't have to wait for a specific week to go on a trip. That's true. A lot of spring breakers do go down south from up here, so that does make sense. In any case, I was broke most of the time. Right, exactly. I was also broke most of the time in college. When you're broke, it's more like, well, I'll probably just work and like make some money so I'm not as broke. Or just save my money and not go out. I had people over a lot. I was definitely not antisocial. I just, yeah, didn't have... I would have, like, Christmas parties and game nights and stuff. I hosted, well, I didn't host it, but I kind of, like, organized a weekly bowling night, which sounds really boring, but it was, like, the cheapest thing to do in town, because they would have $1 bowling night, so it was, like, $1 hot dogs, $1 beer, $1 games, like, just everything was $1, because it was a slow night of the week, and so... It was just like a good excuse to get everybody together, so we did that every week for a couple of years in college, which was fun. No, none of us really loved bowling, but it was like a good excuse to hang out and go out, get out of the house, but for cheap. So, yeah, totally get the broke thing. That's a lot of bowling. How do you stop yourself from quoting The Big Lebowski every 5 minutes? Funny story. I actually hadn't seen The Big Lebowski while we were doing bowling. Everybody else did, so I feel like other people were constantly quoting it. I had a friend that would come sometimes that was super obsessed with that movie, but I never caught any of the references, so yeah, it was pretty culturally inept. Still kind of am, but not as much. Well, let me rephrase, pop culturally inept. But I did watch that movie one night. I always associate that movie with cake decorating, because we definitely watched it when we were working late one night finishing cakes. I used to be a cake decorator, for those who didn't know, but I don't know if you knew that or not. I don't like lines for that, so I'm not doing lines for the background. We're just gonna paint the background. Cool, alright, done with the lines. The lines. This will be the figure paint layer and the background paint layer. We'll see if I can stick to it. We would get really bored of the bowling sometimes. So most of the time after the first like few weeks. So we would do like themed nights, so that would be more interesting. So for instance, turn that back up. Oh no, maybe not that high. We would do, turn that down. Like silly hats night or something, and like everybody would wear a hat that was really ridiculous. Or we would like instead of using our names for the, you know, like the scoreboard or whatever, we would pick a theme for the night. So things like Disney characters or countries or African animals, and so like instead of your name it'd be like lion scored, you know, a strike or whatever, or giraffe missed everything. So yeah, we tried to keep it interesting. It was you know, it wasn't no one's favorite game, but it was a good excuse to see each other and kind of regular, so that was helpful. Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man. Wait, do you bowl? Or do you like bowling a lot? I don't. Yeah, we just weren't big fans. It is just my opinion for sure. I'm sorry if I've offended you or anyone else who is a bowling aficionado. I'm just not one of them. I'm not of the ilk. I never was very good. I think I scored like an average of 200, I think, most games. Usually like slightly below 200. I had this bad habit. Everybody always said that I was like sharking them, because like my first game I'd always get really good, but then every game after that every game after that I would do really bad. I failed. What did I fail? By apologizing? I'm sorry. Oh wait, did I fail again? Just quoted the movie. I have seen it. Oh, yeah, no, I will always fail in pop culture quotes. Like, don't be surprised. Totally. Totally. We'll fail. I saw that movie like at 2 in the morning while I was decorating a bunch of cakes for a really busy weekend. And very distracted by friends, and that was when I saw the movie. So all I really remember is the gunfight and the bowling, like some of the bowling scene, but just like the visual. I don't remember what they were saying in any of it. I do have a song that uses a speech that was given, I think, from Big Lebowski, so maybe I know part of that. Oh no, wait, that was Gangs of New York. Never mind. Totally unrelated in different movies, but yeah, sorry. I will always fail at pop culture. Like, please don't ever be shocked that I don't know pop culture, because it's a thing. Totally a thing. Like the edge of sunlight, I will watch you still. I just lost street cred, I'm sorry. I mean, in my defense, I tried really hard to become more pop cultured. That's exactly why I made the list. Have I shown you the list yet? It used to be way longer because I finally got tired of people being constantly disappointed in me in college, and so I started a list of movies people kept telling me I needed to watch and were like disappointed in me for not knowing. And so I watched a lot of them already, so my list is not as long, but it's still like 4 columns at 8-point font with no margins and no spaces between lines, and it still takes up the whole page, so there's a lot still that I haven't seen. I'm just not a big movie buff. Yeah, I can't say that I'm super into film. Well, some film, like animated film and art films, definitely. But like, yeah, average, like regular films, no. Sorry. But that was definitely... I can see it and have, like, remember the general gist of movies, but for some reason I can't remember, like, quotes. For some reason. I just don't understand. Like, I don't know why, but my brain can't remember. Or, like, doesn't choose to remember any, like, poignant scenes or quotes, usually from live action movies. For some reason I'll remember them from animated films, even if I've seen them only once or twice. But I can watch a live action film, and unless I really like it, I'm just not gonna retain what happened. So, yeah, it's a problem. Just not cut out to be a film critic, clearly. So will I be getting the jokes when I'm 80 years old? Maybe. We'll see. I don't know if I'm ever gonna watch those movies again, so maybe not. It's probably, I guess, maybe a fruitless effort then. I kind of stopped after I watched Pulp Fiction because I feel like I did not need to see that movie. I'm very visual, and like I remembered that for sure, like some scenes from that, but it just like totally scarred me. Not my favorite things to think about. But yeah. So I think I just kind of stopped attempting the list after that because I felt very unprepared for that movie. Like, I think I had just watched some feel-good film. Like, I think I had just watched, like, Driving Miss Daisy or something, which I actually did kind of enjoy, so I remember some scenes from that. Don't remember quotes still, but I do remember some scenes. And, yeah, it was just, like, a totally, like, a huge contrast in tone, for sure. That's okay. I'm a different kind of nerd. That's true. You're not wrong. I'm definitely a different kind of nerd. Plenty nerdy about other things, so I don't feel like I disqualify. Just not a movie nerd. Do you have any films that you think I like absolutely need to see? So I'll tell you right now, one of the ones I haven't seen is Gone with the Wind, and a lot of people tell me I need to see that one. I tried to one time, but I got really bored. It's not like super my genre. Like I'll watch a Lord of the Rings marathon back to back all day long and love every minute of it and be riveted. But Gone with the Wind, I don't know. Maybe I didn't give it a chance. Maybe I should have watched more. I'll pull up my list so I can cross-reference and see if they're still on there. I definitely have watched quite a few at this point. But maybe there's some I need to rewatch because I don't remember anything. Maybe I have no see. Oh gosh, it's so long. So here it is. Here's my list. It's actually on 2 pages apparently. I didn't realize I had gone over. There. Now it's on 1 page again. So, no. Wait, what? You can't take it with you? What? Okay, there. Now it fits on 1 page. Except for the series, but that doesn't matter as much. So there's things like Con Air and what else is on here? Jacob's Run, or I'm sorry, Logan's Run. Legends of the Fall. What else is like Ed Wood? Aaron Brockovich. I think this is getting more into like the classic films because I've kind of checked off a lot of the ones that are more contemporary. I should probably get this off the screen though. Sorry. High Noon, Billy Elliot, Blood Diamond, Battle Royale, Event Horizon. Yeah, so James Bond movies. I haven't seen a James Bond movie. That's probably a bigger one. You have to watch a film called Society from 1989, so you won't be able to eat for a few hours afterwards. Are you trying to scar me? I don't do well with scarring. Society, is that on here? No? Do I really need to watch it, or are you trying to trick me? I'll never trust you again if you're tricking me, but I'm gonna add it. His Girl Friday, that's another popular one that I hear a lot about. But I think I have gotten a lot of the more like obvious ones like Godfather and The Big Lebowski and Indiana Jones movies. Like I've gotten a lot of those off the list now. Pineapple Express is on here. Pearl Harbor is on here. Yeah, The Untouchables. The Wolf on Wall Street, that's a new one. Anyway, okay. Don't do it, Casey. Oh, really? Please delete it? Oh, thank you. Thank you for warning me. I'm gonna take it off. Yeah, that was how I felt about Pulp Fiction. I feel like somebody should have warned me that I didn't really need, that it was just like a shock value movie. If you've not been able to be the same person. Oh gosh, that sounds terrifying. Well, I appreciate the warning. I will not be adding that movie to the list then. You have a good list already. See you in 40 years when you're halfway. Hey, I got through, it was like twice that long, and I got through it in the past 4 years? And I think there's some on here that I have seen that I just forgot I've seen, like The Pianist. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I would have muted, but that came on really fast. Like I think I've seen that one. I don't know. Sometimes I'll put one in and realize I have seen it already, and then I'll have to take it off the list because I just forgot to take it off or something. But, alas. Does salud mean congratulations? I forget what salud means. Nope, don't do that, Casey, because that's the background. Almost did it. Almost painted on the wrong layer again. Okay. better, I think. Hope, want. It's what you say when somebody sneezes. Oh, thanks. Aw, thank you. I see. So I feel like I should know that. Or maybe I used to know that. Bad me. Well, thanks. I appreciate it. Do you like musicals at all? Random question, it might seem, but it does have a connection to that, what we were just talking about. I promise. A loose connection, granted, but a connection. Maybe I've asked you this before, and if I have, I'm sorry. I just really like that show. It needs more people who know about it. Ouch. It's getting really hot in my apartment. I'm starting to stick to the chair.
This is the first time I'm walking away from you, but this is the third time you broke something new from you. And don't cry, I keep telling myself this is all in my head. Don't cry, I keep telling myself you will wake up instead.
I had to see forcefully. You had to forcefully see Grease. You didn't like it? Oh, the La La Land you did enjoy. Okay, I watched both of those and I like both of them. Do you? I mean, you saw La La Land's more of a drama though, so maybe you won't like it. Well, Gallivant is like a very not fourth wall breaking necessarily, but very self-aware. Like it just knows that it's very silly and it like enjoys that it's very silly. And constantly references in the songs that they sing, like how ridiculous what they're singing about is. So it's kind of like an irreverent, maybe a little bit to the genre, kind of a musical, but I like it. Anyway, there's a part in there where one of the characters keeps sneezing, and like the first few times people say bless you or whatever, or you know, goes in tight. And he's like, thanks. And he's like, enough. And then he sneezes again and nobody does it because he said to stop. And then he's like, quick, before my soul escapes, somebody bless me. It just makes me laugh. So every time somebody sneezes now I think of that, like, quick before my soul escapes. Ah. So that's all. That was the only tie. It's definitely a comedy. And it doesn't really try to be much more than a comedy. In fact, there's not a... Yeah, I don't know. It's just fun. It's a good time. I would recommend it.
This is the first time I'm walking away from you, but this is the third time you broke something new from you. And don't cry, I keep telling myself this is all in my head. Don't cry, I keep telling myself you will wake up instead.
on Netflix if you have Netflix. But anyway, alas. So I think last time you were in the stream chat, I think you said something about you were looking for if you were trying to look for different ways to do what you really want to be doing. Whether, I can't remember if it was like jobs in the field you want to be in or what it was, but yeah, how's that going, if at all? And if not, I'm sorry for asking. I hope it's going well. Just to know if you have any new updates on your life. Maybe you were trying, yeah, totally. You remember a show called Toast of London? It was not a musical, it had a musical number in the middle of each episode. I don't know if I've heard of that. Was it a BBC show? Because I didn't get a lot of BBC until I watched Netflix as an adult, so I'm not familiar with most of BBC stuff. I'm like vaguely aware of Downton Abbey, and that's about it. Like, aware in theory of Downton Abbey, I should say.
I knew I'd find you here. You always leave when you can't feel. You tell me to leave you alone, but I can't stay away. I know I should let you go.
Let's see, Toast of London. See if I recognize it. Oh, this is not BBC, is it? Oh no, it is BBC. Yeah. I don't think I even... Stephen Toast, that's a great name. Nope, not heard of it. Looks very silly though. You want to move into industry doing engineering. Yeah, you'll be starting some classes in April. Okay, I hope that gets you closer. Yeah, no, me too, that's great. At the very least so that you're able to put some formal education in your CV. Totally, totally. Yeah, that's great. No, I thought I remembered you saying something about that. Are you, I mean, I'm assuming you're looking forward to it then. That sounds exciting. Being on the precipice of reaching your goals, maybe. This is too bright, I can't really tell, but this is better. Let's just do that. Excuse me. A little bit more on color key for mom here. Guess I could lighten her a little bit. Do a separate overlay layer. Probably the best move.
I knew I'd find you here. You always leave when you can't feel. You tell me to leave you alone, but I can't stay away.
I just want this cub to kind of blend in a little more. I'm not really supposed to know there's a cub back there. I think right now he probably stands out a bit too much. That show is a hard recommendation to give. Try perhaps some clips on YouTube for watching the show. The humor is very black and sometimes over the top. Yeah. It looks like it might be. Yeah, I'll check it out. You know, I may not love it. We'll see. I sometimes have been, I've finally gotten to a place where I can put on a show in the background as long as I'm not too invested and just like let it play. And that's kind of how I've been watching stuff that people are telling me to watch, which is, granted, probably part of why I'm not remembering everything, because I need to be able to, I have to focus if I'm really going to remember something. But it's been helpful. I like kind of getting something like done, maybe. But yeah, I'll give it a shot. What about me? Am I working the other job right now? You mean like a part-time job? Yeah, I am, sadly. I actually had a super scary time in the past few months, on top of just like crazy life stuff, So the job I was working at the inn here in town fell through suddenly. They just kind of like stopped having people, they stopped having a job for me to do, basically. And so it got to the point where they just weren't putting me on the schedule anymore. And it obviously like needed some hours, so I had to kind of live on savings until basically last week. Yeah, I had to live on savings until last week. So from like mid-December to last week, I was essentially jobless. And winters are always really hard in freelance, I've noticed. You just don't get a lot of people looking for stuff during those times, because I think people are so busy with family and there's a lot of, you know, Christmas expenses and stuff. So that I typically don't get a ton of work in the winter. I think I got like 1 or 2 small, you know, $50 commissions maybe, but not enough to put a dent in rent. Certainly. So I basically lived on savings for the past 3 months. And so I'm pretty like, I'm uncomfortably, almost like uncomfortably broke. And so yeah, I just kind of have to have this job right now. Thankfully, some of my client work has, like, I've gotten a couple of client jobs in the past couple weeks. Again, not enough to pay off rent, but more than I had been getting for sure. So yeah. Yeah, I'm still working a part-time job. And right now, I'm definitely not in a position to just drop that like I have been in the past. In the past, I've kind of worked as a part-time job for like 6 months and then dropped it because I didn't need it. Because you know, client work was coming in, but that just hasn't been the case. It hasn't been the case recently for me for some reason, so yeah, just trying to make ends meet right now, basically. And I finally started to get a little bit ahead after this last week, and then I had to pay insurance for my car. So it all went away. Just, yeah, crazy time, but anyway. I don't know if that answers your question, or if that even was your question. If you are receiving recognitions, I'll say the thick of it, but beware some bad words and creative insults. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I just try to keep my streams cleaner, just because of I know that I have a lot of elementary school kids that watch me without like being logged in. That's, yeah, but I don't care. That's fine. You've seen that show like 10 times already. It seems to be cyclical, so get on the mindset for the summer. Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm also, we'll see how it works, but I'm planning on changing a lot of my business practices. Not like significantly to where the clients would notice, but as far as like what I'm investing time in, and like kind of like changing game plans a little bit to hopefully get more work this coming year. I'm going to be looking for an agent probably this spring, or like if I can finish these comic pages, then I'll be looking for one now. But I have a bunch of books like next to me that have like list tons of agents and publishing houses and stuff in the US that you can submit to for an illustrator, so I'm gonna be doing that probably. It's something I've kind of been meaning to do for a few years, but now I'm really in a position to where I'm tired of the ups and downs of freelance, and I'm ready for something more stable, and it's just stressful. I feel like I've gotten enough experience as a freelancer now that I feel more confident to be like ready for an agent, which is good. Like that was the purpose. It's just, yeah, it's just time, I think. Yeah, I'm just kind of, yeah, done with stressing about where my next paycheck's coming from. It's not the most fun thing in the world, for sure. That is one thing I miss about teaching. And actually there's a school, an elementary school of all things, not very far from me at all, whose art teacher is retiring this year. And for like a split second I was tempted. You know, I was like, oh, that sounds like, I mean, I would hate it. Not hate it, but I would not be happy. But at least I'd have steady income and like like benefits. I miss health benefits, like actual health benefits, not like, you know, government ones that don't cover anything. So yeah. But no, I like swatted those evil thoughts away. I was like, away from me, Satan. Or I don't know, maybe it was a sign that I need, I don't know. I'm still kind of, you know, processing that, but I don't want to be back in, especially the public school and especially in elementary. Like, it's literally my worst case scenario. Like, if I'm about to be destitute, I'll take that kind of a job. Because I feel like I could get one pretty easily. But anyway, yeah, so. We'll see. Yeah, I'm really hoping the agent hunt pans out, because then they just find work for me. Like, if I get a good one who has a lot of connections, then they'll know publishers and publishing houses and editors who are like on speed dial for them, basically, and they can say just like, hey, I have this new artist and I think you should check her out, and here's her work, and I know you do these projects, you know, that kind of thing, and it'd just be way easier. And then I would be making actual money instead of what I'm doing now. Scraping by. Use the pain. Use the pain, Casey. But what would the agent do? Get you a job in a company? Yeah, yeah. Please don't come back. You are on the other side. I know. I know. I knew you would understand that. It's tempting though, and you're like, I mean, I'm like broke. I mean, it's tempting when you're like staring homelessness in the face. Like, I'm super qualified for that job, but I also know that I would be very sad. So, no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna take it. It just crossed my mind briefly, very briefly. But no. Do not want. Yeah, it was pretty discouraging this winter. There was so much happening, and it was just all the bad things that could be happening in my career were happening. I was just like, what am I even doing? I definitely had one of those like existential crisis moments where I was just like, I don't even know why I'm doing this. Like, this is obviously not working. I should just give up. Just, you know, hard. It was a hard winter for sure. But I'm coming out of it. So, very thankful. Definitely very thankful. Can you not camp outside for the whole summer? Yeah, but this happened in the middle of December. We've had like a week of below 0 temperatures. Yeah, no. And work and stream from Starbucks. I don't think I can bring my Cintiq and my computer to Starbucks though. I definitely need a studio. Some kind of space. I mean, it's bad enough that I work out in my living room, but one day the dream is to have a studio. Oh shoot. I will be right back. I totally forgot I had laundry in the washer. I'm so sorry. Give me like 2 seconds. It's right outside the door. Here's this picture so far for you to look at. I feel like a mean neighbor. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, we're Oh gosh, I didn't realize what time it was. I don't know why I thought of that. Maybe it was thinking about homelessness, but I just remembered all of a sudden that I had laundry in the washer still. Oops. Alright. Oh darn. I did that on the wrong layer. I did that on the wrong layer too. Shoot. Ah. Why do I do this? I was doing so good. I'm determined to get better at this whole correct layer, wrong layer business. Let's do it on the correct layer, shall we? Just a thought here, but how would it be to ask your parents for yeah. Or if you have a good credit, then ask the bank. I'm really trying to avoid taking out a loan. I think I'm spoiled, but I've been debt-free. That was part of why I went into teaching right out of college, was because I wanted to be debt-free. Like, my plan was to get debt-free, save up enough to live for a year somewhere, and like do a study abroad type thing for art, and then leave and do that. Thankfully I saved enough for 3 years apparently, before I really got desperate, but I just really don't want to be in debt again. I still owe my mom a little bit of money for college. She helped me get through college with the understanding that I'd pay her back eventually. And I did that for a while when I was teaching still, but I still owe a little. And I just don't want to make that bigger, you know what I mean? My parents would happily give me a loan. Like, thankfully I'm in a position where if I got super desperate, obviously I could be like, hey guys, I'm about to be on the street. I need to loan $1,000 or something to pay rent this month. Which I almost did a couple weeks ago until I got that client work. But I just, it's probably pride. Like, I think I just maybe have too much pride, which is not always great, but I also feel like I just, I'm 31. I just really want to be able to provide for myself at this stage of life, and so unless I'm like in dire straits, I think I'm gonna try to do everything I can to avoid being in that situation where I just need to take out a loan. So that's why I'm gonna try this thing with getting an agent. It's probably gonna be a process. I may not even have one by the end of the year. Like, I might still be looking, because typically they find you, you don't find them. Like, they want you, but I'm hoping the projects and plans that I have for this year will increase my visibility online, and like maybe someone will find me. And I also follow some agents on social media, and I might reach out to them and just see if they're looking, or like if they had advice for me or something. I don't know. But yeah. But no, I mean, you're right. Like, if I really need to take out a loan, I can totally ask my parents for a loan. I just don't want to be in that situation. The nice thing about, obviously family loans is that they don't charge interest, so I probably won't do a bank ever, just because thankfully my parents are in a position to be able to loan money, like some money, if I need to. But yeah, I really don't want to be the family mooch, so I'm trying not to be the stereotypical starving artist here. It works sometimes better than others. You're reading a book? Oh, no worries. But you are not 31 in terms of your career. Yeah, that's true. I think you would be more like 20s just after. Yeah, no, I mean, that's true. That was kind of the plan, was to come up here and like put myself through my own art school kind of thing for 4 years. Which it'll be 4 years at the end of this year. And so that was kind of the time frame I gave myself to like, if I don't see improvement or if I like hate what I'm doing, then I would just stop and go back. That was kind of the deal I made with myself in my head, but I still love it. Depending on the project, obviously, but I still like drawing and like want to be able to do this for a career. So, and I think I have improved. I think I've definitely learned a lot. I could have learned more, but I think I've been like moderately successful in those goals in the past 3-4 years. With the exception of 2017, which was just a total waste of a year as far as my business went, because I basically put everything on hold to deal with life stuff that year. So maybe only 3 years. Maybe I dropped out and now I'm back. What is happening? Why isn't this? Oh. But yeah. I don't know what's going on. That's true. I guess maybe if I look at it that way, then it does make sense to take out a loan. It's just, I've done that already, you know, like I can't help it. It just feels like a step backwards to me, and I know it's pride. I know it's not how I should be thinking about it. So I might still, like, I might need some investment money to pay for stuff this summer, or to like, so like for example, I'll have to send out postcards to like publishing houses and agents and stuff, and that will cost money, and that's probably going to be like a few $100s of investment to print a bunch of stuff and send it out, and there's like very little chance that I'll get any response the first round of postcards, and so I'll have to do it again. Like, it's gonna be a lot, so we'll see. I might still do it. Yeah, I'm trying really hard to do this on my own. At least as much on my own as I can. Obviously, like, I'm not really doing any of this alone, because I couldn't do any of it without people like you, or like just even people who just like hang out with me on stream, or like talk with me on social media. Like, all of that is so helpful to what I'm trying to accomplish. So when I say I'm alone, I don't really mean that, just like without my parents, I guess, like without trying to like lean on a crutch, for lack of a better word. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Pride is the fall of man, so it probably won't get me very far, but stubborn, I guess. But you're right, I mean, like, I do know that's there if I need it. Things get really bad. Can you do me a favor? I think we were talking about these things because because the music is taking us there. Please play a song that says things are getting better. Okay. That's true, this is a very somber song. How about upbeat royalty-free music? How upbeat are we? I like this song better. Let's listen to this one. Okay. I'll go back to that one later. Although honestly, at the end of this song, I'll probably have to get off. It's like 3 or 4 more minutes. There you go, John. I hope that's good. You feel 25% happier, thanks. Good, I'm glad. Me too. Can you reach out to another more successful artist for a collaboration just so you get a little push? I feel bad doing that because I know I'm sure a lot of people reach out to them for that kind of thing. What I did do last month was I took an online class, which I couldn't afford, but I took it anyway with an artist who's kind of where I want to be, you know, and who I've admired and followed on social media for a long time and have like I mean, he has like thousands of followers, so he probably doesn't remember my name or anything, but and I might, if I have the money, take his class in the fall, the second part. Cause yeah, I think that's the biggest thing I think I'm lacking, having not gone to art school, is that. So, like, networking. So yeah, you're not wrong for sure. I did, and I learned a lot, even though it was just a 4-week course. I definitely learned some things that I think will be, that I'm even like implementing as we speak, kind of things. So yeah, I mean, I would like to reach out, but I think people are more inclined to help if you give them something first. So like by paying him to teach me a class, I feel like I've kind of entered into a part, like more of a respectful association, rather than just like coming out of the woodwork and like asking them to do all of these things for me, you know? Does that make sense? It's more of a like, I don't know, I think it's maybe just a more professional way to hopefully build some of those connections. I can't afford to do it very often, but with him, I know he's super connected and he knows a lot of people that I admire and works with them, and I admire him, and it was just really cool to be able, like, I've never had that experience of working with a professional artist before. Like, that's what I think art school really has over teaching yourself, you know, like trying to make it on your own. So yeah. But yes, I would like to network more for those reasons. Oh, I think I'm getting a sore throat. I can't afford to be sick. Oh. There's another happy one for you to go out on. But yeah. Anyway.
Trying to forget you. I'm all alone in a ghost town. There's a beautiful madness inside my soul, and I can't stop thinking of you.
So, I'm probably gonna head to bed though, I think. It's getting kind of late and I have to get up early in the morning and I have a long day tomorrow. But hey, thanks for hanging out, John. It was super nice to be able to talk to you and catch up. And I'm glad to hear that you've got some cool things going on in April. Yeah, the network is built more organically in college. I think that's really just what I'm lacking, because I'm coming out of nowhere from a totally different career with no connections online and trying to build everything to sustain myself. But anyway, thanks for believing in me. I appreciate it a lot. And yeah, you too. Thanks for hanging out. And I will, I'll catch you around, I'm sure. So you have a great week yourself. And I will hopefully get to talk to you again soon.